My name is Allison Freeman. I am a special education specialist with Greenville County Schools. There are about, I believe, 16 of us in all, and we support elementary schools and secondary schools in the district. I work primarily with secondary. I currently serve League Academy, Sevier Middle School, Greenville Early College, Greenville High School, Wade Hampton, and then also Project Search over at St. Francis. So the director of secondary special education services is running a little bit late due to a meeting that she was held up in. So she's going to join us shortly, and if you have questions or want to connect afterwards, she'll be more than happy to speak with any of you. What I'm going to share with you today is we have a cooperative. It's an interagency collaborative started by Greenville County Schools as a means for just getting people involved with helping us meet transition needs within our district. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our cooperative. Just a brief history. It started about 20 years or more ago. Cheryl Johnson would be able to probably put a date on it, I'm not sure. But it started as the Passport to Success Committee. And what it was we have done for over 20 years annual sort of a job career fair for students with disabilities that are juniors or seniors. We've kind of changed it from year to year. It typically occurs in November of each year. And during that fair, we talk about not only different programming outside of high school, once you exit high school for students with disabilities, but we also provide an opportunity for businesses to come and interact and network with our students. We also have a student panel that provides information to students, just what life is like outside of high school. You know, what is everyday life as a college student or a working student or working individual. And it's been a success. We've changed it as years have went by. We actually, a few years ago, added a parent session, and we've gotten a great response from the community for that. So that's kind of how GCTC started. In about 2015, there was initiatives from the state through the Transition Alliance of South Carolina for each district to have an collaborative group that just addressed transition outside of high school and kind of bridging that gap between the services that are provided, as well as making sure that we have parents connected to the appropriate people to support their child with a disability upon exiting high school. And so we just kind of naturally made our passport committee, because that was our focus for transition, our Greenville County Transition Cooperative, and since then it's expanded. So here are some of our agency partners, and they're honestly growing every day. I, along with other folks on our cooperative, have people reaching out to us fairly regularly, wanting to be a part of it or wanting to know more. But these are the people that we have typically in attendance. We do have folks from Greenville Tech, DDSN, VR, the Autism Society, CDS, Greenville County Schools, obviously. Now we have Five Scores Mercy Health involved as well, because they're our partner for Project Search. And then Greenville Can. If you're ever wanting to know about it or maybe provide some support in some way, you're happy to reach out to Diane or I. At the end of the presentation today, I have Diane's contact information. We also have a student representative who was a former student in Greenville County Schools who provides that perspective to us. We also have a parent of a child with a disability that provides input as well. So here are our initiatives currently, and they're ever expanding. Again, we continue to do Passport to Success annually. That took place this past November. We also do agency fairs, and we're working on planning a fair next year for just our teachers and staff of Greenville County Schools. One of the gaps that we found is that a lot of our teachers, guidance counselors, administrators don't understand or even know what all is provided within our community to assist families. And so we've done agency fairs for families so that they know what's out there, but we've also done them for our teachers, administrators, guidance counselors, any staff that want to come and find out different networking partners that can maybe assist them with the needs within their school or classroom. So that's something that we're planning for the next school year. We also do Job Olympics. That took place actually just this past March at the YMCA, and that's for students with more moderate to severe range of disabilities and that would typically need some type of supportive employment rather than competitive employment. And it's just like Special Olympics, it is a Job Olympics. So they compete against one another for different types of awards in different categories of jobs. And some of the skills they do is filling out applications, answering telephones, bagging groceries, rolling silverware, cleaning, lots of different things, filing, a lot of different types of jobs that need to be filled in our community they get to practice with and then compete against each other. Then we also, of course, disseminate transition information to our agency partners, and if we've got things going on within the district, we try to make our partners aware of that so that they can provide that information to the families that they support. We also have Project Search. It's kind of come full circle because Cheryl was instrumental in getting that started in Greenville County. I assisted as well with writing the grant. We actually had bond supporters come to us and say, we know about this initiative, we know about this program, and we want to start it. How do we get it started? We are on our second year of Project Search at St. Francis. Last year we had 7 interns that were hired within the hospital. This year we have 10 interns, and they will be hired, if not within the hospital, within their communities. All 10 of them are actually 9, so we have one with some health concerns, but majority of them will have competitive employment by the time the school year ends. We're already working on that and have some things in place for them. These are jobs that are truly integrated within the hospital. These are not jobs that are made for our students. We have students that have worked in endoscopy, sterilization, if you can imagine all the things that you have to do and the procedures within the sterilization department, as well as telemetry. We have in the emergency department. We just really try to utilize the full hospital, and we've had great partnerships with allowing that to take place. We have selected our interns for next year, and they will actually receive their letters this week. So I wish I could be a fly on the wall for some of those parents and families that are receiving those letters, because I know we have a lot that are really excited to be a part of the program and have earned a place in our program. So other student support we provide through Greenville County Transition Cooperative as well as through Greenville County Schools. We do have transition liaisons. These folks network in our community. They know the businesses within the areas in which our students attend school. So anywhere from TR and Blue Ridge area to Woodmont to here in the city, they know what's available in the community, and they work with the schools and students and parents to kind of line up training opportunities as well as paid employment opportunities. So students that we currently have on our occupational course of study or our district credential that will kind of roll into our South Carolina high school credential that now is state accredited. During their junior year, they have the availability of internships and trainings, and then during their senior year of high school, they have the opportunity for paid employment. And we really try to work with our career centers, our community leaders, to provide them not just a job, but the right job. Something that they're going to enjoy doing and that they're going to get something out of and that may roll into a career for them. Again, we have our secondary special education specialist. I have 5 other colleagues that do the same as I do as far as supporting different schools. and we just help with those opportunities and bridging the gaps between the needs of the student and the family, as well as the supports provided within the district. The high school credential, there is a website for that, and you can simply just go on to high school credential or South Carolina high school credential. Google that, it'll come right up, and it shows you all of the information. I was able to sit on that committee to help implement and plan, and much of what the credential revolves around in the coursework and the scope and sequence for providing support was mirrored after what we do already in Greenville County. So there's always room for improvement, but this is such a great step in having something that is actually known in the state, that when we have very transient populations within our state, so knowing that if a student's in Spartanburg or Lexington or Oconee County, that they can come to Greenville County and also be provided very similar to supports to the communities that they came from, and continue on that plan. So I don't have the time, unfortunately, to go through all about the pieces of the high school credential, but if that's something that interests you, I would definitely take a look at the website. It has a lot of really great information.
Allison, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
If we ended up getting requests from folks to learn more in depth about their credential, is that something we could bring y'all back to
Yes, we could actually come and just talk about the credential itself. And that would also probably be something great to maybe get Joy or someone from Task involved too, kind of partner up with that. Definitely. We also, within each of our 14 high schools, we have high school-based businesses. And each of our high schools are equipped with embroidery machines, heat presses, and they have all of the different things that they need to be able to provide different types of shirts and things like that. I've brought up just a couple to show you kind of what they do, but the purpose of this is to provide them the opportunity to not only learn skills, but to also learn a trade that could maybe transition or transfer into their career upon exiting high school. We're starting to reach out to some different embroidery companies and places like Marley Lily and some of those folks to get some of our interns either the opportunity to shadow or to work there, to maybe even do internships, because they've already are learning the skills within the classroom to be able to build upon those businesses. But you can just see most of our high schools have a web page, so if you are a particular fan of a high school within the county, you can search on their page and you can actually order anything from mugs to shirts, the Yeti cups that are popular, all of those types of things, monogramming. We're in the South, we love our monograms. So those are all things that our high schools are actually equipped to do. I've added just a couple more. The Cats on Top designs, that's Woodmont. Eagle Threads is Eastside. They also do a cafeteria store, so they have things that can be purchased during times that students are in the cafeteria. And then we have Diddle Dog Designs, which is Traveler's Rest. They actually, Traveler's Rest was one of the folks that really got on board once Greenville County Schools did the clear bag policy. They started selling the clear bags with the TR logo and everything on them. So check that out if you have an opportunity to do so. Those are just some of the things that we do. I know this is kind of a short and sweet presentation of all the work that's going on. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, or if you want to get involved with GCTC at some level, we would be more than happy to have you or have you come and speak to our group. This is Diane's information. She knows it's on the slide and knows that I'm giving it out, even though she's not here with us right now. But she would be more than happy to answer any questions. We've had a great many folks in the community reach out to us because of really just Project Search. So Project Search has kind of sparked some interest because it's been in the media, it's been on WYFF, our graduation was broadcast last year, and they want to know, what else are y'all doing? And I think it's great to start having those conversations, and we're being brought to the table to really have great interest in the things in our community and to bring that to our parents and really have a bridge for working together and collaborating. So I've been really excited to see that as a part of my time here. But feel free to reach out to Diane. Like I said, I think she's on her way. She got held back a little bit. I believe she's also bringing with her some brochures about the high school credential. So you're welcome to take those. If not, we can get your contact information, and I'll be glad to send you links to any of the information I've presented today.
I have questions for Allison.
Yes, ma'am.
Since I'm all new to this, what do you do for the moderately disabled students that do have a skill set and they do want to do some sort of supportive employment?
Sure.
What about the transportation piece while they're in high school as well as after high school? Because they can't drive, say.
Sure. So as supported employment, we're really working with our agency partners like DDSN and VR to assist with transition pieces, vocational rehabilitation.
Okay.
That we do have training centers associated with VR in which our students go to. It just depends on their skill set. We really have been working with our schools on what do you have access to on your campus. If a student's not quite ready to go into their community, what do you have access to? Greenville County Schools is one of the largest employers within our county. And so we really try to work with our foods and nutrition department as well as our custodial staff. I know I have some students that are more in that moderate range that are doing different things within the media center. They're helping with different things in the office.
But then after they graduate, that's going to become the hard piece
That's right. And
with
so
the transportation.
we try to get VR and all of those folks involved really early, as early as possible, and that way they can provide those follow-along services once they've exited high school. So we really want to make sure there's that seamless gap. And we're trying to better equip our teachers with having those conversations, or at least knowing the people to reach out to. Each of our high schools has a transition liaison that is assigned to them. So they utilize that staff to kind of help with that. We also have a wonderful partnership with SC Vocational Rehabilitation, and there's a VR counselor assigned to each of our high schools that goes there regularly. So they're already touching base with teachers and saying, hey, is there someone that I could be working with? Is there someone that if they don't qualify for my services, that I can let you know who to speak to? So we're really starting those conversations, and we're trying to equip even our middle schools and even talking to some of our elementary schools about, if there's waivers and those kind of things and waiting lists, when to start having those conversations and making sure to be proactive rather than reactive.
Sounds good.
Can I address the transportation thing real quick, and I know we got some other questions. So I sent out an action alert that went out yesterday. So County Council right now, within this week or next week or possibly the week after, they're going to take some sort of action on whether they're going to provide more funding for Greenlink to match what the city is doing. And if that funding comes through, it will, right now the service ends at 6:30 I think on the weekends, and 7:30. It's going to extend it to 11:30, and right now the wait times for buses are an hour, and it would decrease those wait times down to 30 minutes, like normal. It still doesn't fully expand the service geographically, but it's a big step in the right direction. So I encourage you to do that action alert, and in addition to find out who your council person is, send them emails and let them know that transportation isn't just about, in their minds they think it's just moving poor people around and it's this kind of charity-based health and human service kind of thing. And we need to convince them that it's about, people who are trying to live as independently as they can and get to employment and things such as that. So now's the time to really do that push. There's a lot of work that's been doing it, and right now it all comes down to, will County Council invest in it? to be honest with you, it's a toss-up. Some of them are into it, some of them are not. So they really need some energy around that for sure. So anyway, you had a question, Mary?
So like if you're a special education student in the public schools, how do you get involved with GCTC?
Well, the GCTC is more of the support for the students, and so we have agency partners. We do have a former student of Greenville County Schools that provides us support. He's actually, one of the providers I failed to list on here is Able SC. They're also a big part of that, and the student that's actually involved with us is a part of Able SC as well. So we don't have students necessarily involved with GCTC. GCTC is kind of just the purpose for planning for those students.
Aaron, was that your question, or were you saying if I'm a student and I have disabilities, you automatically are part of the transition services
Yes.
as part of the school district? And the Transition Cooperative was
Right.
basically created to wrap community support around the transition work that the school district's already doing.
It was yes, because it's a way of, we know that only so much can prepare a student for the real world inside a classroom and inside a bubble, in that safe little bubble, and so we really wanted to put our energy together within the community to provide those supports that really truly transitions them into a place where they can be successful in the community and have the right people on their team to help.
Other questions?
Not really. Well, yes, here's a question. I was involved with the whole Green Link. They did a photo shoot, and this is just my thinking. Has anyone ever reached out to them to maybe get something together in different parts of Travelers West and here in Greenville, that there is bus service where the students could ride the bus as to not necessarily get acclimated to it, but to show what's out there, like what the bus route is? I drive myself, but I pass buses like all over, and it's like, how did you get here?
Right.
So.
As a part of our curriculum, we do community-based instruction, and we have funding through the district that allows teachers to take students out into the community, and that's part of the skills that they learn, depending on the population they need. Unfortunately, because a lot of our busing is not geographically to TR, Blue Ridge, Marietta, all the way down to Woodmont, we do have some restrainers in that for some of our schools. Obviously, our schools that are more center in the county have better transportation opportunities, but we certainly try to at least expose all of the students in some way to those different forms of transportation, so that if that is something that they want to access in the future, they have some background knowledge of to what that's like.
And then Able, South Carolina, all their services are free, and someone can reach out to them, and if that's what they need in order to be more independent, they can work with them on a one basis. One other thing about transportation, I don't want to turn this into a transportation thing. All of the buses are ADA compliant, but all of the stops are not. So if you have someone that you're dealing with that would need an accessible stop, they are federally mandated to be accessible. They're just not yet. And so if you see that a route would work for you, go check out the stop, make sure the stop's accessible, make sure the accessible route to where you're going is accessible. And if it's not, contact me and I can put you in touch with the ADA coordinator for whoever is over that stop. And that's one of those kind of squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing. And so, just do your due diligence on that. At some juncture, they will all be accessible, but right now it's kind of whichever one someone's yelling about is the one that gets fixed up. So any other questions for Allison?
If you have a 12th grader who they have special needs, but yet you hadn't been in contact by any of these people, what they're suggesting that these kids stay in school till they're 21? What about if they're not going to stay in school till they're 21?
That they probably should be set up through VR, have some sort of case management to look at employment if that's their long-term goal.
Through beyond.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's who the school is setting up with?
Yes. I can talk to you afterwards. Is your son or daughter enrolled in Greenville County Schools now? Okay, afterwards, if you want to touch base with me, I can give you the steps of who to talk to. Because that's certainly something, definitely with the end of school coming up, you would want to know some of that information. I'll be glad to share that with you.
Y'all, let's give Allison a big hand. Thank you.